What's happening, my green loving community? Is it me? Or did it get cold fast? It's the worst time of the year. I hate it. I hate cold weather. I say that with a smile because, obviously, here come all the holidays, spending time with family, yada, yada, yada. But for your plants and having them indoors, it's kind of the worst time. You spent all of spring and all of summer packing your house with plants. I know you did. I see you on Instagram. How do we make sure that they're still happy, still thriving? So here are some of my tips for preparing your plants and also yourself for the next few cold months. First thing you got to do is bring them in. If you have them outside, stop watching this right now and go get your plants. Bring them inside. That's where they'll be happy. That's where they'll survive. Once you bring them inside, where do you place them? Place them in a place where they're getting the same sort of light that they were kind of used to when they were outdoors. Obviously, it won't be the exact same light, but try to mimic it as close as possible. If you have tropical plants that love bright light, put them in bright, indirect light spots in your home. Second, you want to make sure your plants aren't being placed next to heaters, taking in too much heat, drying out your plant, and killing it over time. Next, in the process of trying to find bright light for your plants that you're using pulled from outside or you already have indoors, if you have your plants in a window or if you've had it in that window throughout spring and summer, now once it's colder, you want to make sure you're pulling some of your plants away from the glass. Why? Because it's cold out there, that's why. Your plants touching that glass up against those cold windows. If you have great windows and it's kind of insulated and keeping that cold out, great. But if you don't, you have those thin old windows, you might want to pull your plants back just a bit so that they're not touching that cold glass. Next, since there won't be as much light this time of the year as there was early in the year when you first got your plants, now you're gonna have to start paying attention to where the sun is moving. Before, the sun could have been positioned in your window in a certain spot, hitting your plant, giving it the light that it needs. Now, since the sun is moving and maybe hitting spots that it wasn't hitting before, you want to be aware of where that sun is going. So maybe you placed the plant in a bright or a medium light setting before. Now, because the sun has moved to a different spot and it's not high in the sky as it was before, that spot now might end up being a low light spot. So because of that, you want to make sure you're taking notes, being aware, and if your plant isn't up for low light, move it into a new spot. You might need to take your plants from all over your home and place them up against one window. Now that it's not going to be so hot and humid in your home, you're going to have to recreate that. So misting is very important. Given that it's going to be colder, I know you're all going to want to turn your heaters on, and what that'll do is just make it real dry in your home. So making sure you mist your plants during this time is key. Now that it's not going to be as hot as it was before, either in your home or just in the setting in general, you might not need to water your plants as much in the winter. So if you were watering a plant every 7 days, through the winter it might be every 10 days. This is the time we all start to lose plants. All the different plants might just end up being on different schedules. So a note from me to you, right now is where you're going to have to pay close attention to all of your plants. Take note, if you watered the bird of paradise on a Friday and 7 days later it's still damp, you might want to come back on the 10th day to see if it's dry. Because now, unlike it was in the summer, it's not a 7-day cycle, it's now a 10-day cycle. But your fiddle that's closer to the window that's getting more sun is still on your 7-day cycle. So now instead of watering all of your plants every 7 days, you have a bird of paradise that's being watered every 10, and then a fiddle that's being watered every 7, and then a palm that's being watered every 6. This is where it gets crazy. This is what I've been talking about when it comes to being a plant parent. All of the dedication, all of the time, the patience it takes. It's not just about spring and summer, bringing in plants and being happy, being surrounded by your indoor jungle. The colder months, fall and winter, is when you have to work hard. So some of you who are deep in it, you got all of your green fingers deep in the soil, this is where you'll be tested this time of year. With that being said, gather your green, and make sure you are giving them what they need throughout these next 4 or 5 months. I'm there with you. We'll be struggling together and trying to keep everyone, all of our green buds happy. I hope this helps. Have fun.